I call the member for Braddon.
Now, I'm a mum with 3 children, all in primary school, and my youngest this year has started kindergarten. And from this budget, I am absolutely livid that this government will take away $22 billion from education, from the schools, from my kids' future, from their needs that they will need to have as they move through their education. And it was quite astonishing that the member for Dunkley said there's no cuts. Well, you have to look at your own documents that the government puts out. When your own paper admits to the cuts, you call it a savings, we call it a cut. They're both the same thing. So please admit that that's what it is. So under Labor, the schooling resource standard for all schools in all systems in Tasmania would be at 95% by 2019. Now, that standard ensures that there's an amount of funding that is needed to give every child a quality education. But now, under this government, that standard goes down to 20% for public schools. What happens to the rest? In Tasmania, the Tasmanian schools in every sector will lose $85 million over the next 2 years, $68 million from Tasmanian public schools. I'm just going to read this out to you. It was a quote from the Australian Education Unit that says, instead of the $100 million our schools would receive under our 6-year signed agreement, the federal government is offering just $16.5 million to the 2018-2019 financial year. $16.5 million where they should have got $100 million. And the Premier of Tasmania, the night of the budget, celebrated the federal budget, celebrated these cuts to Tasmanian schools. He is, as the deputy leader, opposition leader said before, is the only Premier in the whole of this country that agrees to these cuts to his own schools. So wouldn't it be very exciting to see what the Tasmanian state budget will deliver tomorrow for education? How is a state like Tasmania going to make up for this shortfall? How are they going to meet the 95% of the resource standard? But even that, the Tasmanian State Education Minister, who was a state member in my electorate, said that axing of the Gonski $100 million that I referred to before will condemn generations of Tasmanians to educational disadvantage. This is the State Education Minister, but the Premier is saying, wow, this is fantastic. We really do need a $68 million cut to Tasmanian public schools. So the $85 million cut to all Tasmanian schools over the next 2 years will mean larger class sizes, reduced numeracy and literacy support and less individual attention, and then a reduction in those support services like counsellors, school psychologists, speech pathologists, all those supports that do give the real meaning to needs-based funding. In one of my schools, Olston High School, they wrote to me to tell me about what the funding, the additional funding under this agreement has meant to their school. It has enabled our school, and I quote, to provide extra support for students in literacy and numeracy through support, staff working in classes with students and providing support for disengaged students. The implementation of one-to-one devices for all students is underpinned by the extra funding that the school has been able to access to provide all students with access to technology. Now, is that going to continue under these cuts? No. Is the state government going to make up the difference and ensure that Olston High School, the kids at that school, will get the funding they need to have their extra resources for numeracy and literacy? We'll see tomorrow in the state budget, but I am certain that that will never happen. The Catholic schools are also very, very worried. I've met with the Catholic Education Office in Tasmania a couple of times in the last week. They are very concerned that, one, the federal government is not giving them any information to be able to inform their families of what these cuts mean to them. So here's the government, the party that says parents need to have a choice in education, and now they're forcing parents to make that choice based on funding, because the Catholic schools in Tasmania are low-fee schools. They range from $1,000 to $2,000 per year, and this government is putting that at risk and will close those schools down.
Order.